The wind blew cold over the frozen ground of the distant moon called Arisnine. Snow covered everything, turning the land into a white and silent sea. A single figure walked slowly through the snow. It was a human man named Liam. He wore a thick Coda helmet with a face shield and carried a heavy pack on his back. His boots made deep marks in the snow behind him. Liam was a scout, sent to check old outposts that were left behind many years ago. No one lived here anymore. It was too cold, too quiet, and too far from the trade routes. But Command wanted someone to search for any useful tech or supplies that might still work. So Liam had landed his ship and started walking one outpost at a time. He was alone. He liked it that way. On this day, Liam was walking back toward his ship. He had found nothing useful in the last outpost. It's just broken walls, empty crates, and snow inside the rooms. The cold had started to get through his gloves, and his fingers were stiff. He was thinking about hot soup and rest when he saw something strange in the snow ahead. Tracks. They were not animal tracks. They were too wide and deep, and they dragged like someone was walking while weak or hurt. Liam stopped and looked closer. Small footprints beside the larger ones. He frowned. "Someone's out here?" he said to himself. He followed the tracks, moving carefully. The snow got deeper, and the sky grew darker. The wind howled, and he wrapped his coat tighter. After about 10 minutes, he saw a shape up ahead. Lying near a rock, as he got closer, he realized it wasn't one shape. It was two. A figure lay in the snow, holding something small close to her chest. It was a woman, clearly alien. Her skin was pale blue, and her face looked thin and tired. She wore clothes that were torn and had holes in them. Her arms shook as she held a small bundle of baby, also blue-skinned, wrapped in thin cloth. Liam knelt beside her. She looked up at him with wide, tired eyes. Her lips were cracked, and she spoke in a weak voice. "Please." "One bite," she whispered. Her hand reached out, trembling. Liam's heart sank. He quickly took off his glove and pulled an energy bar from his pocket. He unwrapped it and broke off a small piece. He gently placed it in her mouth. She chewed slowly, then smiled slightly. Then her eyes rolled back. She collapsed, still holding her baby tightly. No, stay with me," Liam said, catching her before she hit the ground fully. He placed a hand on her neck-weak pulse. The baby let out a soft whimper. Liam wrapped his coat around both of them, grabbed his cum, and spoke. "AI, prepare emergency medical bed. We've got 2 lives to save." He picked the mother and baby up in his arms. They were light to light. The snow swirled around him. As he turned back and ran toward his ship, Liam's ship was not far, maybe 15 minutes away. But with the weight of 2 freezing bodies and the wind pushing against him, it felt longer. His breath came fast. But he didn't stop. He reached the ship, stomped into the hatch, and the door closed behind him with a hiss. Warm air blasted his face. The AI spoke calm as always. 2 unknown lifeforms detected. Warning: alien contact not authorized without permission from Central Command. "Override it," Liam said, laying the woman on the medical bed. They would have died out there. Medical protocol initiated. Scanning. Liam unwrapped the baby gently and covered him in a thermal blanket. He was small, eyes half closed, skin cold to the touch. The mother lay still. Machines beeped and flashed. Fluids were connected. Heaters activated. Liam sat beside them, worried. He watched as the medical bed began to stabilize her. The baby's breathing grew stronger. After an hour, the worst signs were fading, but she was still unconscious. Liam looked at the baby. He was awake now, staring with big, curious eyes. Liam reached out, and the tiny hand grabbed his finger. Even though he was exhausted, Liam smiled. "You're a tough one," he whispered. "Both of you." He gave the baby some warmed milk from the ship's supplies. He drank slowly, then fell asleep in Liam's arms. Outside, the storm continued to howl. But inside the ship, there was warmth, light, and the start of something Liam didn't expect. He had come to find supplies instead. He found a mother and child who had no one else, and he had already made his choice. The ship stayed quiet as Liam watched the alien mother sleep. The machines beside her beeped slowly, showing she was alive, but still weak. The baby lay close in a warm pod, wrapped in soft blankets, breathing peacefully. Liam had moved a chair beside the medical bed and hadn't left it since bringing them inside. He hadn't planned for this. He came to Arrest-9 to collect old tech, not to save lives. The AI spoke again. Breaking the silence, medical scan complete. Alien female is malnourished, dehydrated, and hypothermic. Internal injuries healing. Infant is stable. How long before she wakes? Liam asked. Unknown. Depending on recovery rate, between 6 to 12 hours. Liam leaned back in the chair, eyes heavy from stress and cold. He didn't want to sleep. He didn't want to miss it if she woke up. But after a while, his head dropped, and he drifted off. Hours passed. A soft cough pulled him from sleep. He looked up quickly. The alien mother's eyes were open. She stared at the ceiling, then slowly turned her head toward the sound of breathing. Her eyes locked on the baby. She tried to sit up, panic flashing in her face. Easy, Liam said gently. He stood and walked over. He's okay. You're safe. She looked at him, blinking. Her lips moved, but no sound came. She reached toward her baby. Liam helped lift her slightly so she could hold him. The baby opened his eyes and made a soft sound. The mother closed her eyes, tears falling from the corners. Thank you, she whispered in a faint voice. Thank you, human. Liam nodded. What's your name? Vire? She said softly. My son is named Kale. I'm Liam, he replied. You almost didn't make it. Vire gave a weak smile. I know. Liam pulled up a chair. Again, what happened to you? Vire looked down at her son and held him close. Her hand shook. We lived in a small colony, she began. We were peaceful, farmers, builders, families. Then ships came. Not yours. Different. Dark metal. Red markings. They didn't speak. They just attacked. Took some, killed others. Everything burned. Her voice cracked. Liam stayed quiet, letting her speak. I ran. I had no weapons. Only Kale. I kept running. They chased some of us, but in the snow we got lost. Others died. I just kept walking, hoping someone might help. She looked at Liam again, and then I saw you. Liam felt a cold knot in his chest. How long were you out there? 3 days, she said. I hadn't eaten in 2, I thought. Maybe one bite could help me stay awake. But I couldn't take another step. She looked away, ashamed. Liam stood and grabbed a bowl from the food shelf, prepared warm broth, and placed it in her hands. You don't need to be ashamed, he said. You survived. You protected. Him, Vire took slow sips, hands trembling. Each mouthful seemed to bring a little more color to her face. Why did you help me? She asked after a while. Because it was the right thing to do, Liam said. You needed help. That's enough for me. Vire looked at him deeply, as if trying to see inside his heart. Most humans would not, she whispered. Liam didn't answer. Instead, he sat near the baby's pod and checked the readings. Everything was normal now. Suddenly, the AI spoke again. Warning. Central patrol beacon. Detected. Nearby human patrol ships scanning this area. Liam cursed under his breath and moved to the cockpit. On the screen, a light blinked. They're pinging us, he muttered. You probably saw my ship's signature. Response? The AI asked Liam. Paused. If he answered, they might send someone to check. And if they scanned the ship, they'd find Vire and her child. Airing his without clearance was against regulation. He could be discharged, maybe even arrested. But if he didn't answer, they might think something was wrong. Delay response by 10 minutes, he ordered. Send false signals. Engine repairs in progress. Confirmed. He returned to Vire, trying to hide his worry. Trouble? She asked. Maybe, he replied. Other humans are nearby. If they board this ship and find you, things could go bad. Vera gripped her baby tighter. Will they take him? I won't let them, Liam said firmly. Vire looked at him again. This time her eyes were wide with fear and something else. Hope you are not like the others, she said. Liam grabbed a small handheld scanner and began making quick checks around the ship, preparing to mask heat signatures and life signs. I'm going to hide you both if they come closer, he said. I know a place under the floor panel near the back. It'll be tight but warm. Vire nodded. She trusted him now. Liam, she whispered as he passed by, thank you. Not just for the food, for everything. Liam gave her a small smile. Get some rest. We'll figure this out. Outside the ship, the storm began to clear. The stars above Arisnine twinkled faintly, but for the first time in days, Vire didn't feel cold. Liam worked quickly. The patrol signal was getting stronger. Soon, the other human ship would reach his location. He moved to the back of the ship where the storage panels were. He pulled open a floor panel and cleared out a hidden compartment. Just big enough to fit 2 people, he returned to Vire, who was now sitting up and holding her baby close to her chest. We don't have much time, Liam said quietly. You need to hide here until they leave. Vire didn't ask questions. She nodded and followed him to the back. Liam helped her down into the small space and gave her a thick blanket. Keep Kale warm and stay quiet. The AI will mask your heat signature. What about you? She asked. I'll handle them, Liam said. The panel closed over them. Liam stood and wiped his hands on his jacket. Then he walked to the cockpit just as the AI spoke. Patrol ship HSS Ranger requesting docking permission. Liam took a deep breath and replied, Permission granted. Prepare for brief inspection. The patrol ship docked within minutes. Liam stood by the airlock door as it opened. 2 officers stepped inside, both in dark uniforms with silver patches. Their faces were hard and cold. You didn't respond to the initial ping, one officer said. I was working on repairs, Liam answered calmly. Cold air damaged a few systems. This moon is empty, the second officer said, looking around. Why are you here? Checking old outposts. Command wanted me to scan for usable parts or tech. They looked around the ship, scanning. Each room with handheld devices. Liam's heart pounded, but his face stayed calm. He kept answering questions, pretending nothing was wrong. One officer stopped and pointed at the medical bed. You used this? Liam said. Got frostbite in my hand yesterday. Healed it up. The officer nodded but didn't look. Convinced after 10 long minutes they finished the check. We didn't detect anything unusual, one said. But you know the law harboring alien life without clearance is punishable. Liam nodded. Understood. They gave him a final look, then walked back to the airlock. Next time, answer your signal faster. Yes, sir. The door closed behind them. Liam waited until the patrol ship flew away before rushing back to the storage panel. He pulled it open. Vri was curled around her baby, her eyes wide. They're gone, Liam whispered. You're safe. She let out a long breath and climbed out slowly. Kale was still sleeping. That was close, she said softly. Liam nodded. Too close. They sat together in silence for a while. The air felt heavier now, like the danger wasn't over yet. You said others attacked your colony? Liam said. Do you think they're still looking for you? Vire nodded. If they know Kale lived, yes, they'll come. Liam glanced. At the child, what makes him so important? Vire looked down. My people, you have a gift. It's passed through the bloodline. Some call it the memory light. What is that? We can see ancient things, hear echoes of the past, sometimes even feel the future. Most of us only get tiny bits. But Kale, he was born with something stronger. Liam listened carefully. He has a connection, she continued. Our elders believed he could awaken something old, something hidden in the stars. The Raiders wanted him because of that. They think he's a key. Key to what? I don't know, she said. Maybe a weapon. Maybe knowledge. But I know one thing: he must not fall into their hands. Liam stood up. Then we need to leave this moon. It's not safe here anymore. He walked to the control panel and began preparing the ship for launch. I know a hidden station not far from here, he said. Old human research base. It's quiet and out of range. We can rest there and plan. Can you really trust them? Vira asked. I trust the man who runs it, Liam said. He saved me once. I owe him. The engines hummed to life. Vera sat down with Kale and held him tightly. The baby opened his eyes for a moment, and smiled and reached toward the light above. Liam smiled too. He's stronger than he looks. He is, Vira whispered. He always has been. The ship rose slowly from the frozen surface, cutting through the clouds and snow. Above, the stars shone bright. Course set for Station Echo 9, the eye said. Let's hope no one's watching, Liam muttered. As the ship entered space, Vira looked out the window. Her eyes filled with sadness, but also hope. Thank you, Liam, again. Don't thank me yet, Liam said. We're not out of danger. But deep inside, he already knew he would protect them both, no matter the cost. The ship moved quietly through space. Liam sat in the pilot's seat, eyes watching the scanner. He checked the radar every few minutes, making sure no patrols or unknown ships were following them. The stars outside blinked like tiny eyes, cold, and distant Vire sat in the back, holding Kale close. The baby was sleeping again, wrapped in soft blankets. His breathing was calm, and his little hands twitched from time to time. Vire smiled softly as she watched him. Liam looked back at her. He seems peaceful. Vire nodded. He sleeps better now. I think he feels safe. He should, Liam said. We're almost there. Vira glanced at the screen. Yes. Place Echo 9. What is it like? It's hidden, Liam replied. Abandoned a long time ago, but someone stayed behind. A man named Un. He was once part of Central Command, but left everything. Said he was tired of politics and orders.
Now you trust him.
I do, Liam said. He saved my life during a mission on Orion 3. He pulled me from a burning wreck. When others ran, if anyone can help us without asking too many questions, it's him. Vire looked out the window. Her eyes held both hope and worry. Hours passed before the ship reached a dark, rocky moon. It looked lifeless from above. No lights, no cities, no ships. Liam knew where to look. He entered a code into the console, and a part of the rock surface began to move. A hidden door opened slowly, revealing a docking bay hidden inside the moon. Liam landed the ship gently. As the engines shut off, Vire held Kale tightly and followed Liam to the ramp. The door opened, and warm lights flickered on inside the docking bay. The air smelled like metal and dust, but it was safe. A man stood at the far end holding a scanner. He had gray hair, a long coat, and sharp eyes. He didn't look surprised. To see them, Liam, he said. You're late. I brought company, Liam replied. Ian looked at Vire, then at the baby. His eyes narrowed, but he didn't speak. We need a place to hide, Liam said. Just for a while, Un gave a slow nod. Come inside, but you'll explain everything. Inside the station, the halls were narrow and old, lights lined. The walls and screens blinked with strange symbols. The place had power, but not much. Liam followed Un to a small room with chairs and warm lights. Vire sat down carefully. Keeping Kale close, Un poured hot tea and handed cups to both of them. Start talking. He said. Liam told the full story, finding Vira in the snow. Her asking for food, the patrol ship, the baby, everything. He left nothing out. And listened quietly, didn't interrupt. When the story ended, he leaned back in his chair. So, the baby has something special. And others want him. Yes, Vire said softly. They will come. Do you know who they are? Un asked. Vire shook her head. Not their real name. Just raiders. Thieves. They use old symbols. Red marks. They destroyed everything. UN stood and walked to a wall panel. He tapped the screen and brought up an old star map. Red dots flashed across it. Those symbols you mentioned. I've seen them before, he said. Long ago. They were part of a lost faction. No laws, no home, just ships and weapons. And they believe in finding ancient power. He looked at the baby. If they think he's part of that, they won't stop. Liam stood beside Vire. Then we protect him. UN nodded. Can stay here for a while. Station's location is buried deep. Even command forgot about it. Thank you, Liam said. Don't thank me yet, UN said. We have a bigger problem. What? I intercepted a message UN explained. Someone leaked data about you, Liam. Your ship's location, your mission. It's spreading fast. Whoever's after that baby already knows you took him. Liam's face went still. Who sent? It unknown, but someone from inside. Vire looked afraid. She held Kale tightly. They're coming again, aren't they? Un gave a slow nod. Maybe not now. Maybe not tomorrow. But they will come. Then we prepare Liam. Said, we can't run forever. Ewan smiled slightly. There's still some fight in you. There has to be, Liam replied. For them. They spent the next hours setting up defenses. Ewan gave them a secure room to rest, and Vire placed Kale in a soft cradle made from old blankets. She looked at Liam. You didn't have to. Do all this, but you did. Liam looked back at her, calm and serious. You needed someone. Now you have me. Outside. Space stayed quiet. But deep in the darkness, something moved. Ships without flags. Eyes that hunted in silence. And they were. Coming. Liam woke up early. The station was silent except for the soft hum of machines. He stood quietly and walked through the dim hallway toward the control room. Un was already there, staring at the screen. You didn't sleep? Liam asked. No. Ian said without turning. The raiders moved. What do you mean, Ian? Pointed to a blinking red mark on the star map. They were 5 systems away yesterday. Now they're 2. Liam felt a chill go down his spine. How did they move so fast? They have stolen warp tech. Someone is feeding them coordinates. Liam clenched his jaw, running out of time. Ewan nodded slowly. We have maybe 3 days, 4 at best? Liam turned toward the room where Vire and Kale were resting.
Ew.
He thought of the baby's small hands, his gentle breath. They had already come too far to give up now. Can we fight them? Liam asked. Not with weapons, Ewan said. We don't have enough. But we may have another way. Liam looked at him, curious. Earn walked to a locked cabinet and opened it. Inside was a small silver device glowing faintly. This is a memory core, he said, built long ago by a species that vanished. Your story about the baby made me remember this. No one has been able to unlock it. Liam frowned. What does this have to do with Kale? Un picked up the core and walked toward the cradle where Kale slept. Vera sat nearby, her hand gently on her son's chest. She looked up as Ewan entered. May I? He asked. She hesitated, then nodded. Be careful. Ewan held the glowing core near Kale. Nothing happened at first. Then the light on the device blinked. Once. Twice. Then steady. Suddenly, a wave of soft light filled the room, and a low sound played like a hum from far away. Strange symbols appeared in the air, floating around Kale like stars. Liam and Veer stared in shock. He activated it. Ian whispered, It responds to him. Kale opened his eyes. He didn't cry. He just looked up at the lights above him. With wonder, what is it showing? Liam asked. ERN watched the symbols. A location. Something buried. Something powerful. Maybe even dangerous. Vera stood, worry in her eyes. This is why they're after him. They want whatever this device is showing. Ewan slowly pulled the core back. The light faded, and Kale closed his eyes again. We have a choice. Ewan said, we can stay here and hide, or we follow this lead and find out what this is before they do. Liam looked at Vera. What do you want to do? She was quiet for a long time. Then she spoke. We run, they follow, we hide, they search, they won't stop. Maybe we have to go where Kale is leading us. Maybe it's the only way. Liam nodded. Then we go. Unsighed and walked. Back to the control room? I'll prepare the coordinates. But it won't be easy. The system is unstable. It's full of debris fields, broken satellites, and solar storms. Good, Liam said. Maybe they'll slow the raiders too. V-Ray wrapped Kale carefully and followed them to the ship. She looked at Liam. I don't want to put you in more danger. You already have, Liam said, smiling softly. But it's okay. Some things are worth it. They boarded the ship again, this time not to hide but to search, as they left the hidden station. Liam looked back once. Thank you, Yuen, he said through the cum. Don't thank me, Yuen replied. Just stay alive. The ship entered. Warp stars stretching across the black screen. Vera sat beside Liam while Kale slept peacefully in her arms. What if it's a trap? She asked quietly. Then we fight, Liam said. But maybe it's something that can end this. Ours passed in silence. When they dropped out of warp, the sky looked strange. The stars here were dim, the ship blinking weakly. Old wreckage drifted in the dark. And in the center of it all was a large moon, cracked and glowing from inside. This is it. Aaron's voice crackled through the signal. This is the place. Liam stared at the screen. We'll land. As the ship moved closer to the moon, Kale stirred. He opened his eyes, looked out the window, and reached toward the light. V-Ray held him close. Whatever waited down there, they had come too far to turn back now. Liam slowly guided the ship toward the cracked moon. Pieces of rock floated around it like broken glass. Blue light shone from deep cracks in the surface. The scanner showed no active life signs, but the strange signal from the memory core was. Growing stronger, REI sat near the window with Kale in her arms. The baby was quiet but alert, eyes wide and watching the glowing moon below. He didn't seem afraid, only curious. He feels something, Vera whispered. Liam nodded. We're close to whatever this is. The ship landed on a flat surface. Near one of the glowing cracks, Liam checked the atmosphere. It was thin but safe enough for short walks. He grabbed 2 breathing masks and handed one to V-Ray. Stay close to me, he said, and hold him tight. The ramp opened, and a cold wind swept through the ship. They stepped out slowly, boots crunching on the dusty ground. The light from the crack beside them pulsed softly like a heartbeat deep inside the moon as they walked toward it. The memory core on Liam's belt lit up again. Strange symbols appeared in the air in front of them, floating and moving like they were alive. This way, Liam said. Following the path the symbols made, they walked down a narrow passage that led inside the moon. The walls glowed with dim light. After a short walk, they reached a large open space and ancient chamber. In the middle stood a tall structure made of metal and stone, shaped like a tower, but with no door or window. Kale reached toward it. The core glowed brighter, V-I-R-E. Stepped forward. This place, it's not just old, it's sacred. My people spoke of a moon like this, but they thought it was a myth, Liam said. We're standing in the myth now. Place the core on a small stand at the base of the structure. The ground rumbled slightly. Lights came on around them. Top of the tower opened slowly, revealing a glowing sphere inside. Energy swirled around it like a quiet storm. What is that? Liam asked. V-Ray's eyes were wide. I think it's a memory keeper. It holds knowledge. Maybe from thousands of years ago. Just then, Kale made a small sound and the sphere responded. It projected images into the airships, stars, people, cities that no longer existed. They were seeing memories, whole pieces of history. It's showing us everything it knows, Liam said in awed. But the moment didn't last long. The AI on Liam's wrist beeped fast. Warning, it said. 3 unknown ships detected. Incoming at high speed. Liam's heart sank. They found us. V-Ray held Kale tighter. We have to protect him. We can't fight them here, Liam said. But maybe we don't have to. Looked at the glowing sphere. This place, this tower. Can we hide the knowledge? Make sure they don't get it. V-Ray stepped closer to the sphere and touched the surface. The lights responded. She closed her eyes, whispering in her native language. The sphere glowed brighter, and then the images vanished. The tower closed again, sealing the memory inside. It's locked, she said. Only Kale can open it again. Good, Liam said. Now let's get out of here. They turned back toward the exit. But already they could hear the low hum of enemy ships above. Outside, dust blew across the landing pad. Liam looked up and saw the Black Raider ships landing. They were fast and sharp, covered in red markings. A group of armored figures stepped out. Their leader wore a black helmet and held a long weapon. Liam pulled Vire behind a rock. Go around. Get to the ship. I'll draw them away. No, Vire whispered. We stay together. He's after the boy, Liam said. You have to protect him. Kale, as if understanding, looked at Liam and made a soft sound. Liam stood and walked out with his hands up. What do you want? Shouted. The leader pointed his weapon. The child. Give him to us, and we'll let you live. Liam laughed once. You'll have to go through me. The raiders moved closer, but suddenly the ground shook. The crack beside the tower opened wider, and a beam of light shot into the sky. The enemy stopped and looked around, confused. Then, from the sky, a new ship appeared. Aaron's voice came through Liam's earpiece. Couldn't let you have all the fun. His ship fired at the raiders, causing them to scatter. Liam ran back to Vire and helped her to the ship. Let's go. They boarded quickly, and Aaron's ship covered them as they launched into the sky. The raiders followed, but they were slower. Coordinates set, Liam said. We're jumping now. The star stretched again as the ship jumped into hyperspace. Leaving the broken moon and the enemy behind, Vire sat down, holding Kale close. She looked at Liam. We locked the knowledge, saved him, but they won't stop. No, Liam said. But now we know what they want, and we're ready. Kale looked up and smiled, the soft glow of the memory core still lighting his blanket. Whatever lay ahead, they were not alone.